September 11, 2001 started out as a typical late summer morning. But at 8:47, a chain of events so horrific changed America forever. With the crash of 4 commercial jetliners, all flights were grounded, and for the first time in aviation history, America's skies were eerily empty and silent.
When you get what you want, but not what you need. When you feel so tired, but you can't sleep. Stuck in rivers, and the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone but it goes to waste. Could it be worse?
Now 12 years later, we commemorate not just the history, but the memory, the hurt, the bravery, and the sacrifice of all those involved.
Where were you when the world stopped turning that September day? Out in the yard, your wife and children working on some stage in L.A. Did you stand there in shock at the sight of that black smoke rising against that blue sky? Did you shout out in anger and fear for your neighbor, or did you just sit down and cry? Did you weep for the children who lost their dear loved ones? Pray for the ones who don't know? You rejoice for the people who walked from the rubble and sobbed for the ones left below. Did you burst out in pride for the red, white, and blue, and the heroes who died just doing what they do? Did you look up to heaven for some kind of answer and look at yourself and what really matters? A singer of simple songs, I'm not a real political man. I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I can tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran. But I know Jesus and I talk to God, and I remember this from when I was young. Faith, hope, and love are some good things He gave us, and the greatest is love. Where were you when the world stopped turning that September day?
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart?
Lawrence Christopher Abel, Donald Leroy Adams, Patrick Adams, Shannon Lewis Adams, Stephen George Adams.
Jacqueline Delane Aldridge, Eric Allen, Joseph Ryan Allen, Richard Dennis Allen, Richard Leonard Allen,
Charles Anderson, Joseph Angelini Jr. and Sr., Paul Apollo,
Peter Miller, Craig James Miller, Douglas Charles Miller, Henry Alfred Miller Jr.,
Thomas McCann, Justin McCarthy, Thomas M. McHale, Stephanie Marie, Alan P. Layton Jr., Daniel Lopez, George Lopez, Daniel Lugas, William Lumsden,
Jeffrey Fox, Virginia Fox, Pauline Francis, Regine Francis, Gary J.
John P. Williamson, Donna Ann Wilson, William Wilson, James John Woods, Patrick J. Woods,
Michael John Cahill, Scott Walter Cahill,
Rosemary C. Carlson, Mark Stephen Carney, Joyce Ann Carpento, Ivan Luis Carpio Bautista,
Adam P. Arias, Michael Armstrong, Jack Charles Aaron, Joshua Aaron, Richard Avery Aronow, Japhet Jesse Ariye, Patrick Asante, Carl Asaro, Michael Asiak, Michael Edward Asher, Janice Marie Ashley, Thomas J. Ashton,
Eli Galikoff, and Mandy Chang,
Jason David Kane, Juan Armando Cibalos, Jason Michael Cifalu,
Alejandro Costino, Leonard M. Costrino, Richard G. Catarilla, Michael Joseph Colley, Jason David Kone, Louis Alfonso Chimbo, Robert Chen, Wing-Wei Chen,
Eugene Clark, Gregory Allen Clark, Manny Leroy Clark, Thomas R. Clark, and Christopher Robert Clark. Robert D. Collin, Robert J. Cole, Gene Collin, John Michael Collins, Michael L. Collins.
Andre Cox, Daniel Hall Krinsman, Dennis Cross, Kevin Raymond, Thomas G. Crody, and John Crow.
Joyce Cummings, Brian Thomas Cummins, Michael Cunningham, Robert Ertolo, Lawrence Damon, Kura.
Dwight Ronald Darcy, Elizabeth Ann Darling, Annette Andrea Dataram, Lawrence Davidson, Michael Allen Davidson.
Scott Matthew Davidson, Titus Davidson, Nierka Davila, Clinton Davis, Wayne Terriel Davis.
Calvin Dawson, Edward James Day, Jennifer Day Jesus, Monique E. Day Jesus.
Anne Marie Kramer, Christopher S. Kramer, Denise Elizabeth Krant, James Leslie Crawford Jr., Robert James Crawford, Joanne Mary Cregan,
Albert Condi, Susan Conley.